Okay guys, this is how we're going to set up the animation station. Computer should be on, and the camera should be set to camera right here. That's this little switch. Push in the green button and switch it to camera. This cable, the firewire, should be plugged into the side next to the video screen, and the other end of it will be plugged into the back of the computer next to the Ethernet cable. On the camcorder, you're going to want to have this set to P. That'll give you functionality with focus. Okay, you get a little button here and a little function key here. You'll hit the function key, and on AWB, which is auto white balance, leave it on auto white balance. Image effect should be off, LCD light off, digital effect off. With the menu, you then hit the joystick in the middle, and you're going to want to make sure on the third menu item down, I think, one of these menu items, that demo mode is off. If it's not, press in on there to the right, and then go scroll down to demo mode, hit the middle of the joystick down, and then select off, and hit return, push on the middle. I'm navigating all this with this little joystick here, okay? Once you're all done, hit the function key again. If you need to focus, hit the center of the joystick and we'll bring up this button. Exposure will make it brighter. If you hit down and go to focus, you can then focus on items. I'll focus on this ruler. It's hard to see on this little mini screen, but it's out of focus. Now it's in focus. And all I'm doing is, while it's highlighted blue on focus, going back and forth with the little joystick there. Okay, that's how you focus. It's going to be critical. You don't want something that's out of focus a whole bunch. That's it. The rest we'll do on the screen. Okay, so you'll have the desktop open like this. Go to Macintosh HD, users, textiles user, and you'll see Burton color fall. Hold down Control and click and make a new folder. I'll call this one demo. That's the first thing you do. You can also close this out after. Go down here to stop motion. Click it and it will open up, and I'm going to call it demo, and I'm going to select a place for it to go with this little button here. I'm going to go over to textiles user, Burton color. Lo and behold, there is my folder. You can leave the frame rate at 15 unless you want it to be a lot more frames, which will make it a little bit slower and smoother, or less frames will make it faster and more choppy. Leave the preset where it's at, then hit create. Immediately you'll shrink the screen down, and you're welcome to, just like this, make it bigger or smaller. Don't make it super huge because you're going to have several windows open. Go over here and click on ZR960, that's our camcorder. And so right away I could see that I have some of my cable that's in the way, so make sure that your firewire cable is out of the way. And your basic controls are right here. So what you have is color correction to start with. Okay, so you can change the saturation here and the brightness, and that's nice. It's easy. It makes it a little bit easier than actually changing the settings on the camera, although you're certainly welcome to change the exposure on the camera if you like. Leave them out. Down here on the tilt shift, you can certainly up the contrast, or I'm sorry, the saturation, like I've done here, and I might actually just bring these up to make them look more magenta. You can bring up the lightness or darkness, the exposure. Same here, and you can see it gets a little bit grainy when you go too far with these settings, so just have to play around with it. You can sharpen it or dull it down. You guys are just going to need to decide what is the best within these settings, visually speaking. I think this is a little bit too bright. I'm going to bring it down in darkness a bit. Okay, so what I have on the screen here are 3 spheres. Well, 1 sphere and 2 ellipses. And we're going to animate these. We're going to do the bouncing ball trick. One thing you're going to notice right away is when you go in here, up is down, left is right, because the orientation is normal and our camera is upside down. So you'll just want to do a rotate by 180 degrees. And now what's on the left will be on the left, and what's on the right will be on the right. Okay, and then it's just a matter of taking pictures. So you can do that a couple ways. A lot of times people like to have someone help them. We'll just start here. Got a nice clean piece of paper. It's always in the same spot. I'm going to hit the space bar. I suggest shooting in 2s. So that means take 2 pictures for each frame. It just helps to smooth out your animation. It's a little trick. Okay, I'll put the ball up there. Move it down. Down again. And as things start to go faster, you're going to want to make bigger, broader changes. So you see I'm moving the ball farther from its previous spot. Now, see how I could see before and after? That's this little slider here. The camera shows me what's under the camera live, and this shows me what the previous shot was. I like to have it sometimes right in the middle so I can tell what to do next. Okay, so I'm going to have the ball hit the ground about here, and I'm going to grab this smaller sphere so it looks like it's getting squished. Let's say about right there works well. Maybe down a little bit lower. A little bit lower. There it is. Good. And then you can do playback. I just put the let's take one more picture. I just put the slider all the way to film strip so I can see what's going on here. Hit the back button and check it out. That's really it. That's the very basics of what you're going to be doing. We'll get into other stuff if you want to